morning there. You're watching QTV this morning, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Thank you so much for joining us. We just hope that you had a good weekend and that you choose this morning show to accompany you. You know, it's either you're cooking, you're going to work, or you're already at work. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the program. I just hope you had a great weekend.
Of course, I mean, you know, my weekend was good.
Nice.
You know, I spent my whole time at home, you know, doing one or two things. I'm gonna do my gainer you buddy. Man, I'm not that gainer.
Well, sometimes nanga jital and take Madam Gainer.
Wow, that day muna am dañ day gainer. Man, suma gainer rek. Ida ma Madam ñoo gainer. Gainer bu am faydal ade gainer. Understand? Why man duma day gainer.
Lan moy gainer bo. So your fan ga dem. Where do you go to?
So that
well,
was
like,
I saw somebody at the Anthony B show. I thought it was you. It wasn't you.
No, not me. So I'm gonna come. I'm not new there. Okay, I'm gainer you them dohantu. Understand?
Yeah.
Or you gainer you them palace. You know, man gainer you tahuma gainer.
Okay, so what I want to know is, where do you love to go when you go out in Gambia? Where do you love? Because there are different places that you can go to. Is it a lounge or a cafe or where?
Man, I like going to Katong.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
I like going to the seaside.
Nice.
You know, eat my butterfish.
Really?
You know,
That's
enjoy
amazing.
myself, take a boat trip. I do that.
Have you done that before?
I've done that. I mean, last week. I mean,
I need to question
Sats
this.
to my brother, Mohammed, in
Okay.
Katong.
All right. Now I believe
the boat guy. You know, and surprisingly, Jenaba, I went to Katong and everybody was like, where's Jenaba Sonko?
Oh.
Where's Jenaba? Even the gangs.
And
In their corners.
We're
They'll
like,
be like,
and-
Balde, where's Jenaba?
so when they
Where's
asked you, what
Jenaba?
did you started going like this? I don't know. Where is she?
I
Where
was
is
like,
she?
I'm not
Yeah,
Jenna.
yeah,
I'm,
yeah,
I,
I'm not
I
her
am not,
keeper.
I'm not responsible for Jenna, but she's
excuse me?
That's what I said to them.
Okay.
And whatever I say here, know that that's what I said.
So you told them you're not responsible.
No, I am
So
Jenna,
who's responsible for
Jenna?
Jenna?
It's not my. I'm irresponsible.
Jennifer is her own responsibility.
It's whose responsibility?
You are your own
But you take what
responsibility.
you will,
Are you
I
not
will
glad that?
Well, nobody.
Are you-
Man, look,
yeah, you
keep
should
out
be
my
glad.
Anyway, Mr. Ade, how was your weekend? Did you go? Mr. Ade,
Yeah.
do you even go out to like cafes, restaurants?
I used to. I mean, but the last couple of Sundays, I went to a well-known hotel that has a brunch on the beach.
Oh, nice.
So it's a kind of mixture of having brunch and also to discuss a contract.
You went alone?
With who?
I went alone. No, I met a friend there
Okay.
both times. And it was to sign a contract
Okay.
yesterday. But the food was delicious.
Amazing.
So what are you
and-
implying?
I was just, as he
No,
said,
she's
a meeting,
asking-
so that's
she's
why I'm asking.
yeah,
Excuse
she's
me.
asking if I have a partner and so on, that kind of stuff. I don't. but-
No,
Yes, and
Mr.
it's-
Ade's life is very boring.
No.
Mr. Ade
It is.
very
It is.
boring.
He's
We-
right. He's right. I mean, because my weekend is only Sunday,
Yeah.
really. I mean, Saturday I'm working till 10 o'clock, and then Sunday usually.
Yeah, that is why for me,
I work on various
I
projects.
try by all means deliberately to sometimes just put up plans for myself to like just go out. You know, sometimes when you go out, oh, you're going to this expensive place. But then, you know, it's just part of trying to cool down, you know, trying to think and all of that. It's just good to like go out sometimes
Yeah.
and chill with your girls or a partner. It does not necessarily mean that when you go out with a partner.
No, but
you know?
sometimes it's nice.
You know,
Because
I-
I see
I am
couples
confused.
there,
Exactly, and you like that.
You know, for me,
Oh,
I am
nice.
confused.
Yeah.
I'm confused sometimes when people say, I want to go out there and think. What are you going to think about? I mean,
Not-
you can think anywhere. You can free your mind anywhere. Even in your house, you can sit and
Go out
think.
and think. Who says that?
She
I
said-
didn't say
She
it
said,
that
I
way.
just go out and think.
No. I meant you just go out and kind of just
Kind of
mingle. That makes you even think beyond, you know, when you're in a room because you're talking to people, interacting, learning alongside, you know, things like that. Just trying to chill.
It doesn't
Maybe
happen
we
to
should
me
ask
that way.
Eliza.
Okay, if
what she
it
did.
doesn't,
over the
that is
weekend as
fine.
well.
But people like me, Mr. Ade, I like my spa date.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me,
Okay,
and I
cool.
like my chill
I know
days.
you
Yeah,
mentioned
I
that
do
before.
those things, and it works for me. You know, because I feel like aside from working hard, why are you looking at me like that? It's also important. If you don't believe in it, I believe in it, and it works for me. And it works for. It might not work for you. You don't believe that it's okay to go to a cafe to have some coffee. Maybe when he can make coffee at home.
It's a waste
that
of time.
mindset, Mr.
Well,
Ade.
it's the same. It's like saying
It's a
I can
waste
cook
of
at
time
home.
for me.
Why should I go to a restaurant?
Why
People
I-
go to
Mr. Ade,
restaurant
it's-
for more
it's
than
a
just the
different
food.
thing.
Why should I worry? I have my Lido coffee at home. I don't have to worry. I have Lido.
Yeah,
I
correct.
make
And
my
you know
Lido.
what, Mr.
I
Ade?
They
make
have
the
Lido
Lido for
coffee in
It's a
myself.
conversation in Gambia. You people see you go to a cafe, you order tea, order waffles or something. They be like, why can't you just do this at home? I'm like, guys,
It's
because
about
you
the-
want to be pampered.
It's-
You want somebody to serve you, somebody to make your tea.
that's
And it's
right.
okay to be a baby girl sometimes, or
This
a
is
baby
it.
boy.
Yeah, you're not
Okay.
having to do everything for yourself.
Exactly.
That's cool.
It's good to
That's
be
cool.
a baby
Yeah,
at some
right.
point. It's
It's good
so
to be
necessary in
Big
life.
baby.
Yes, whatever the case. So let's move on. We have an African proverb or a quote. I don't know which is which. Do you want to go through it?
It's a food.
Okay. What
He
does
who
it say?
refuses to obey cannot command.
Yeah, I saw that and I did wonder. He who refuses to obey cannot command. I mean, is that true? I mean, there are lots of people who go around commanding and commanding and commanding, and they're not obeying
I have
anybody.
an example in my head already.
I hope you're going to name them.
Mention
One?
You know, yeah, but
the
it's
former
true.
president,
Yeah.
you know, the former president of the Gambia, you know,
Right.
Yahya Jammeh at the time, you know, will actually stand and say whoever rapes somebody, this is going to happen. And their allegations, it's not confirmed, but their allegations of rape on him. And he's the same person who used to go
Yeah,
on television to say, oh, if you rape someone, I'm going to kill you. Or if you do this, I'm going to kill you. And then these are things that he's been, you know, alleged of doing a lot.
Yeah.
So he was given the command, but he was not obeying the rules of human rights and democracy.
Sure.
So sometimes you can command and not obey and still get
Yeah.
away with it.
Mm.
It's a very unfair
yes,
world.
Yes, it happens.
Yes.
I mean, there is a wall of proverb which says, "Lo dono talibe, do muna don serinyam." You understand? If you are not maybe a people,
Waaye loolu ak bii du
a
benn de.
people,
Talib.
talibe,
Okay, yes.
you cannot be maybe a teacher or
teacher.
a tutor
Of course.
on something. You understand? So
But do you think it's the same with this one?
well,
Matter of fact,
it's not
it's
the
related.
same. It's kind of related.
it's
You
Yes.
understand?
kind of
So
related.
it's like it's telling you if you want to command one day, you need to obey your superiors.
Yes.
I mean, that's what it tells. Although it doesn't happen that way I mean, most
He
of
who
the time.
refuses
to obey, cannot command.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we need to proceed on to something very important. I
Yes.
have one for us. Let us use this one. It's better than this
Again.
one.
Oh, why?
A country that
No.
makes English language as a compulsory subject and agriculture as an optional subject
Oh,
will
malala.
end up getting good English-speaking people with empty stomach.
Yes, possibly.
Well, you speak good English while your stomach is empty.
Possibly.
Congratulations,
Because
brother, for going to school.
you might be learning about
speaking big English.
You might be learning about agriculture in English. So, you know.
Yes.
Do you
it's,
agree?
You know.
Well, for me, I can remember, I mean, during the Mother Tongue, International
The
Mother Tongue Day, you know, I was just reflecting on the fact that it is, like, for example, our parliament, sometimes some of the parliamentarians come up with, you know, probably a private member's bill, or they just come up with suggestions or interventions, but you can clearly see that, you know, the English language is not on
It's
the
a
side.
struggle, it's a struggle
It's a
for them.
struggle. If that individual spoke Mandinka, Wolof, or Fuller, that person was going to get their message out there better than the English that they're struggling to speak.
And
you know,
if somebody came, and I have some people might be upset, but if somebody came to the Gambia, I think particularly, as you said, if they listen to the National Assembly, I think they would find it hard to believe that this is a country where English is the language of instruction
very sad.
in schools, or that English is compulsory. You know, so poor is the sort of command of the English language by some people. So I'm not sure it's compulsory here.
Is it
At least I
even?
find it hard to believe.
Yes.
I really do. But the person who made that quote has a point. If you make agriculture optional, then you know, it's right. You'll have lots of people with empty stomachs because, you know, if the one that is compulsory is English, you know,
Good
where's
English
that gonna get
speaking.
English, you might speak
Okay.
English well, but you know, and get you around the world. But
For me,
yeah,
I partly agree with it. I partly do not. Because the thing is, English, for example, is the official language of the Gambia. Agriculture is optional in the sense that you want people who want to be agriculturists.
no, but you're saying as a subject, if you make one compulsory
Because
and the other optional.
yeah, because the thing is, okay, for me, agriculture being optional is not the problem here. It's about agriculture being optional and still being able to attract people to go and study agriculture.
But if you made it
voluntarily,
if you made it compulsory, then they don't have the option, and Gambia would not be talking about food
importation of
importation
rice.
and lack of food self-sufficiency. If you made it compulsory,
no.
Well,
the reality is, even if agriculture is compulsory as a subject,
yes,
it does not mean that these young people are going to go and become farmers or agriculturists or something.
But you get more of them.
Yeah, but science, for example, is compulsory in high school. And that does not even make this, it does not make
By the way,
students.
is English compulsory?
It is compulsory.
It is.
English is compulsory. Science is compulsory, But even though science is compulsory, what is the curriculum teaching these children?
In fact, I think they should have, in fact, replaced the mathematics, with agriculture.
No.
Because mathematics is, at some point, I've never used the Pythagoras theory in the office. I've never used the almighty formula here. I've never used equation, find x. I've never seen the y.
Mr. Ade, I don't agree with replacing agriculture with mathematics. Because whatever the case might
be,
mathematics is just one of those subjects, aside from being able to calculate, is one of those subjects where universities are using it as a benchmark. Because mathematics is a subject where you use your IQ, you use logic to be able to solve it.
That's what it is.
So because you use your IQ and your logic and everything that is involved, you need it to to keep you thinking, to come up with solutions.
No.
So it's important for everybody.
Well, I think universities are getting it wrong there.
University of
the Gambia. They are getting it wrong. Sometimes there can be a very good student, you understand, who's not very good at mathematics. Maybe he can get other subjects A1.
Like agric.
But his mathematics is not very good.
Yeah.
So you are not giving that student entry to the university.
No.
You are judging that student based on the mathematics.
Then go and find out the requirements at the university, because the requirements, social sciences, journalism, and other courses
don't require
mathematics, because they know you're not going to apply it.
Is that why so many of them want to be journalists now?
No, not necessarily. Political science, development studies, all the social sciences, all those areas, they don't ask for mathematics. They ask for mathematics in engineering, medicine, for example. You need mathematics because you'll be doing chemistry, you'll be doing physics. You must have math to be able to do that.
Well, I am not saying.
But as of now, mathematics is not a requirement for all of the areas at the University of the Gambia.
I'm not saying mathematics is not a good subject. It will condition your brain.
You're not saying it's good, and you're not saying it's not.
No,
important.
I'm not saying it's a bad subject.
Yeah, quite.
You understand?
Quite.
But the level that people approach mathematics in Africa, not only the Gambia, most of the people, when you talk to them, they'll tell you, mathematics is not easy for me. You understand? But they are very good at English language. They do English, they do chemistry, they are good at other subjects. But mathematics is their problem.
Anyway, to conclude this all, mathematics or not mathematics, universities globally need a benchmark for you to get into certain courses, because when you get in these courses, you need math to be able to survive. So at the University of the Gambia, there are faculties.
Not all courses.
That is why they decided to remove maths for journalism, social sciences and everything, and allow it for courses whereby you need math. And every university needs to set standard. If the standard is not there, it's not going to work out. So that is why they have it simple. That is the only reason.
Okay, let's proceed.
But you know what, in closing very quickly, I've done 5 convocations since I came to the Gambia. And the fact that more people graduate in accountancy than in agric or engineering tells you that people are not finding maths that difficult. You're not going to tell me you don't need maths for accountancy. You absolutely do. They get over 100 people graduating every year in accountancy or in accounting. That's a huge amount.
Exactly.
And so for them, maths is not that difficult.
That is what they choose. That is the path that they choose.
But Mr. Ade, let's be realistic here. If you are to give a percentage, come on. I know my people. I know my brothers. You cannot say the huge percentage.
Anyway,
cannot do mathematics.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on now because we have something to celebrate for. Because the Q Group won 2 awards.
2?
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. So we QTV won the Media House of the Year 2023. So you know, this is because
I thought it was core broadcasting.
Yes, core broadcasting. So core broadcasting is for QTV. So okay,
QTV
let's make this clear. During the award, when they announced that core broadcasting won, you know,
everybody's thinking, who's
core broadcasting? So core broadcasting, it's like an umbrella body where the QTV is and where Q radio is. So wherever you go and you hear someone saying core broadcasting and multimedia, know that it represents QTV and Q radio. And QTV got this award because we have demonstrated consistency in complying with the timely filing of tax returns, payment of corporate income tax, you know, pay VAT, and the relevant provisions of the revenue laws. We actually fit all of the provisions of the revenue law. And also we have GSM Taxpayer of the Year for QCell. You know, so this award is being the most outstanding, you know, GSM operator taxpayer in terms of filing tax returns, payment of corporate incomes, withholding tax, VAT, telecom tax, GSM license, and custom duties, and just in general also complying with all of the...
I can see the core broadcasting awards. Where's the QCell one?
It's here. It's
Where's
right
the
here.
QCell one? Why is it not here?
And also Q Money came second in their category for mobile money.
Ours.
They did not win everything,
No,
but they came
is
second. Q Money. So generally we just have 3 different awards to celebrate: Q Money, QCell, as well as QTV.
Exactly. You know, I mean, taxpayer of the year for QCell. I mean, we've received such an award, I think, few years back.
Yeah.
And,
a few times.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, let's say many
Several times.
Yeah.
Yes, quite.
So it's not a surprise. If you know our CEO and you know how our setup is, you will know discipline and consistency, you know, is what we work for. So, I mean, I'm not surprised.
So
QCell won that award, and you know,
again,
and QTV is following. Whenever you hear co-broadcasting, it's QTV, Q radio.
Yes,
it's the media arm of the Q Group.
That's right.
Well, congratulations to Q Money, QCell, as well as QTV. I think, you know, the CG, the Commissioner General of GRA, talked about it. The fact that the reason why they brought this award is to ensure that there's voluntary compliance when it comes to the filing of taxes, because they've seen a difference for the past 6 years that they've been organizing it. They've seen that voluntarily now there's some sort of healthy competition between, you know, companies to like file in their taxes. And Gambia being a tax-based economy, and we have different competing sectors, it is important that I truly support the initiative. I know a lot of people are being negative about it. If you go on and see, you know, read the comments, I saw a lot of negative comments, but I think people just need to understand the whole motive, you know, of doing this particular award ceremony.
I mean, the negativity I don't even get. I don't understand. Because as you say, the fact that there's a kind of healthy competition spurs people on to do things. But, you know, people generally, human beings, we are so... There's an element of us who are nasty and negative. I even saw people making negative comments about the UTG Farbabanta campaign.
The negative
I just had to go on and say, people get a life. Must you always complain about everything?
I don't get it.
I mean, everybody is saying it's beautiful, it's a great, you know, addition to education in the country, and people are bitching about it.
Yes.
It's like, get a life, people.
Get a life,
you know, like, seriously. I mean, I was just fed up. Like, what?
And you know what?
You know, come on.
I am so happy that you brought this topic, because I was going to bring it up eventually. The Ministry of Interior, you know, the Minister of Interior, we saw that he, you know, gave a briefing on, you know, crime rates in the Gambia. And just generally, you know, there's this hike in missing persons, you know, people being killed.
Spike in reports.
Yes, reports of it. Yes, reports of it, because... obviously, it's good that I was going to even come to that. The fact that with social media, the expansion of the media landscape, now everything that happens in every corner will be reported, and as should. That is how it's supposed to be. But that does not also mean that we should paint our country in a way that, you know, it is not going to be pleasing anymore for other people from other countries to come here. Because online, I saw a woman, it's on TikTok, she's an American, she was talking about how it's not safe to come to Gambia anymore. I saw the Gambians on the comment section
Listen.
trying to explain to her that, please, you know, these are cases. But
I'm glad you saw some explain it to her, because I've spent, in fact, I'm surprised I didn't mention it earlier. I've spent this last week that just finished.
yes.
Half of my time has been going on to rebut some of these comments, because what annoyed me was that some Gambians were agreeing with these people.
Exactly.
And it was good that we heard Cadet ASP Binta Njai come on and say, it's not that there's a rise in crime,
It's
there's
just
a
been
rise
reported.
in reporting.
Exactly.
People are reporting more because of social media and so on. You know, something happens
Citizen
now,
journalism.
within 5 minutes it's gone viral.
Exactly.
Whereas before it would have taken 2 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever.
Exactly.
But if you look at the statistics, that just simply does not
Well,
bear.
you know,
so what annoyed me about the Americans, is that, you know, you had lots of Americans commenting about, and I went on and said, you are the last people to comment about crime in anybody's country, where your country is the worst for crime in among so-called developed countries. So don't even go there about, oh, Gambia is 10. You come from a country where, and when I heard British people, I said to them, and I mentioned this on Week in Review, there have been more murders in London in the last year, than they've been in Gambia in the last 10 years.
Just
more.
look at that.
In fact, more than double. You know, so I'm not having anybody from London or England tell me about this place is unsafe, when your place is one of the most unsafe capital cities in the world. Come on.
Ms. Ada,
You know, the statistics do not bear that out.
it's important sometimes for us as citizens to portray the positive image of our country.
Yeah.
You know, when this guy came here the other day, the cooking guy, that Sindako guy
Yes,
from Ghana, you know, and I said to myself, I mean, look at this guy from Ghana coming to Gambia.
Yeah.
I mean, portraying the positive image of our country. You understand how beautiful the country is. But like you said, if you go on social media, all that you hear, the Gambia, where are we heading to? You know, so
And
those are,
worst of all, Ibrahim,
those are negative
People love
comments.
And you
And
know
we
what?
have to be careful too.
Ibrahim, that's the list even. People complaining that Gambia is not safe. People have even gone further to say, oh, we wish Yaya Jammeh came back during Yaya Jammeh's
Well, I've heard
days. These things
about-
weren't happening.
I've
I'm like,
heard-
guys, if you've not watched the TRRC, do yourself a favor, go and watch this TRRC. Go back to history to understand what Yaya Jammeh was doing. If you are here saying you would appreciate, you prefer Yaya Jammeh, you know, back as president, he would regulate the country.
Well-
And another thing people do not understand is that during Yaya Jammeh's time, crimes were not
They're
even
being
reported.
they're being
They
suppressed.
were
The
being
figures are
censored.
being suppressed.
Even if somebody's killed, it will not be on GRTS. It will not be on any
Exactly.
of the newspapers.
Exactly.
Because Yaya Jammeh will be like, I am the
This
leader
is
of
going
this
to,
country.
It's going to make the country look bad.
And you are reporting
people
this.
don't realize
People
that.
You
go
know-
and read, go and watch
Well,
your
that's-
TRRC.
that's-
If it is
that's-
that
well,
bad,
that's-
honestly,
That's how we think
it's sad.
in this country.
Yeah, because people
that's
don't
the
know.
mindset.
Yeah, people
You
don't
know,
know.
I feel very sad when you think there is only one man who can run the country. That then we failed as a nation.
Well, indeed.
Yeah.
But as Jennifer rightly says, people don't seem to realize that reporting of crime was suppressed
Exactly.
because he knew that it would reflect badly on his country. And so which policeman is going to come up and say in front of the TV,
Press the
oh, crime
release.
has gone up? He'll be sacked. He
You'll
or
be
she
sacked
will
the
be
next
sacked the
day.
next day.
Dismissed, I mean,
So, of course, they didn't do it. So people had this false idea
Yeah.
that crime was low. No, it wasn't. It was about the same level if you look at the actual statistics, not the fact that, now social media has taken it to this whole different level where every crime gets reported. You know, like I said, when the 3 police were shot and people were saying, oh, we should now issue all of them with body armor and so on. Well, yeah, it was tragic that 2 people were killed and 1 seriously injured. But it's not like it was happening every week. So, I
Well,
think
the
we need to...
mistakes that
need
We
we
to-
can't be
and
blowing
it's-
things out of
yeah,
proportion
yeah, and
like
we
that.
do.
And
We
that
do.
is costing
danger.
us a lot of things because
Exactly.
even our tourism is affecting it because most tourists won't come to a country that they think is not safe for them.
You go to the British Foreign Office website and it will tell you, beware of coming to the Gambia because of this. And yet if they had to write one for their own country, what would they say? No Gambian would set foot in London
Exactly.
because of the rate of murder in London. No Gambian would go there. So let them not come and tell us about, oh, it's this. And
It's
they should be
unfair.
ashamed of themselves when they write these kind of travel warnings to people. They should be ashamed. because their own countries are 100 times worse. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that.
It's on-
100
it's-
times worse.
So aside from that, let's take a look at what is happening at the National Assembly. A private member's bill to repeal the anti-FGM law. So, you know, we see all these flyers around where, you know, activists are coming together to say that citizens have to be out, protest against it and all of that. So,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, it will be interesting to know how all the National Assembly members will react to this.
Well, a lot of them, I mean, if we remember, if we go back to the QTV story we did when this was proposed, I think 30 of them wanted to speak in favor of repealing it, which says a lot about our National Assembly, I guess. And in fact, they ran out of time, so I think 20 ended up speaking. So for the National Assembly members, I think some of them have weighed it up and they realize that in their constituency, it's a popular thing. People want it, and they are painting it as, oh, this is being imposed on us by Western powers. This is our culture. We should hold on to our culture. And I mentioned a few weeks ago, some people have been arrested in Sierra Leone this year because 5 girls who were taken away to be cut died in separate incidents, and the people who were responsible. So, you know, for me, yes, culture is good, but if our children are dying because of our culture, then I think we need to look again at whether that is a culture we need to hold on to. It's about human rights. It's about dignity of our children and the safety of our children, and that is what these people have to reflect upon. If one of those National Assembly members' child dies during this, I'd love to hear what they would have to say the next day about, yes, my child has died, but let's carry on with it. But maybe none of them have been in that position.
And that child at that age cannot decide for themselves
if
they want to be mutilated or not. I think just that the human rights bit comes forward as well to focus on.
So the bill is going to be proposed, and like you said, we will be following it keenly.
We'll be following it.
To see, in fact, I think the whole world will be following it.
And, and I think during this time that this bill is being presented for it to be repealed, people have to be also like normalize us having a conversation, as in debating.
We can't run away from it.
Exactly.
If it goes to the parliament,
we have to.
It's there.
You know.
You can't run away from it.
You know, let it be constructive at the end of the day.
Well, you know,
it will be very heated.
And also the issue of, you know, the hypocrisy as well. We see it happening. There's a lot of hypocrisy ongoing surrounding this, to an extent that even if you want to talk about it, somebody will call you in a corner. Oh, it's a very sensitive issue. Do not talk about it. I look at those people like, excuse me. Because Yahya Jammeh brought this law in 2015. This law did not come under the government of President Adama Barrow.
Right.
And at a time that it was coming, everybody welcomed it. Most of the people now who are out there to say that we should repeal this law, we are actually clapping.
They didn't dare.
They didn't dare, right? So
now
why now?
Now they can oppose it.
Now they can't.
Because they're not going to get locked up.
The issue of FGM is very complicated, and you know, for me, I don't want to talk about it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of the people
I
that
don't
you're
want to
talking
talk about it because
so the people who will say, "Oh, don't talk about it."
No, for me,
it's not
yeah,
complicated.
you said people.
You know,
he is one of them.
one of them.
We all have our views towards it. For me, I am not against it.
Listen, look.
You are not against it.
No, I'm not against
Well, you
FGM.
are. Yeah, exactly.
Really?
I am not against it.
There you are.
You know,
Okay,
I
then
think,
you're one of those.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's a thing that should be done.
Yeah,
You understand? So I am not against it.
Okay.
You know, no, listen, you will allow me to land. You've talked and I've listened to you. You know, the issue of FGM, we all have our views towards it. You know, it's our tradition, and at the same time, you know, at some point, our religion allow us to do it.
No.
You understand?
Please.
No, listen, come on.
Ibrahim, don't go there.
No, you see, when you talk about it, they tell you not to talk about it.
No,
You
because,
understand?
But
And
because
when you talk
religion
about
is
it,
not written
they
anywhere.
try to bring the law.
no,
When
don't,
it
you're
comes
not
to-
If you say
you're not
culture,
an
fine,
imam.
but
You're
religion
not
is
an-
not
you're not
written.
an imam.
Listen,
So don't
basically,
bring that.
I am
Yeah.
not against FGM.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
That's
you
fine.
know, if I have my child, and she have to go through it, it doesn't mean that, okay, I have to be silent about it. Look, there are people that are taking their kids in silence. You understand? For me, I am not a person that will just try to muffle myself in. I am not against it. This is what I found here, and my people have been doing it. Our mothers, listen, they'll tell you, so and so have died, so and so have died. Listen, how many people died
The
during
statistics
our
are there
mother's
for
time?
you to read.
How many? No, listen. How many people died during our grandparents' time? How many people suffered different? You see, the issue of FGM. Let them allow each and every person to have their views. I am not against it. You are against it. Ade is against it. But I am a person who is not against it.
Mr. Ade, okay, let me also just say my view based on what he said.
Yeah.
I am very sad. I'm not lying. Like, I'm very sad inside of me right now that I can hear Ibrahima say that during our parents' time, a lot of people died. The only thing that is constant is change. That is the only thing. Because there was the death rate at that time.
What about if it's a nonsensical change?
Just allow me. Just
a
allow
change
me.
that doesn't make
Ibrahima,
sense.
just allow me. You said something. Let me just put this across. It's very sad, Mr. Ade, that he is pointing at the fact that during our grandparents, our great-grand, people died at a time and it was okay. At this point,
I didn't say people died.
You said people were dying.
How many people died?
How many people died? And it's okay people died?
No, I'm not saying people died. Okay. What I mean is, you know, they will tell you, okay, we've done this maybe to 30 women and none of them died.
So how about the percentage of women who died?
You
One
understand?
life, just one life is important.
One life is important.
One life is important. And the statistics are there for you to go and read. And when you read, it will show you.
Sometimes these things are not even connected to the death of those women.
No.
Boy, let activists calm down.
No.
Let them calm down.
I'm coming, and that's why I'm not even
talking to you.
I'm not even going there.
Ibrahima, you've been to school. You've been from grade 1 to grade 12.
I've gone to school.
You've gone to school.
But my going to school doesn't mean that I have to be against my tradition.
Do you read? Okay, now, let's
conclude
conclude on this. What I want to ask you is, have you ever, take your time to read reports of female genital mutilation in different countries and what it has done to women? No, in different countries.
Listen,
have you taken your time to do that?
Listen.
Have you taken your time to do that?
I said before the conversation.
I don't think he cares.
Mr. Ade.
No, if then he cannot talk to me, then he can't talk to me. If you don't read about these things, you can't talk to me.
I will talk to you as far as you've raised the topic here.
Read.
You know, some of these people, they will raise topics and you want to tell them your view and they start talking about other things. When you started, I said, you see, I don't want to talk about it because it's complex. If you don't raise that topic here, I would not have even mentioned it. Everybody believe in what you believed.
Okay, but also I'm recommending that individuals, for me, when you come to me and talk to me about this, your argument has to be of substance and fact. If there's no fact,
don't come with emotion.
I'm not going to take
it. Come with emotion.
It has to be backed by what is on paper.
This thing
has to be backed.
Listen, because activists are out there talking about it
based on facts
and the West is out there pumping and saying certain things, doesn't mean we have to leave our own traditions because we want to follow people. That's why people are lost today. That's why people are facing a lot of problems in their life. That's why people are getting, I mean, I don't even want to talk about
Mr. Ade, to conclude this, you remember there was a time we were talking about a specific tradition in a country where, as a man, before you get married, they subject you to a beating or something. Yeah. So, because it's a man that is being subjected to a beating, it's a tradition. We all found it there. Why is it that tradition did not continue? Before you marry your wife, they take you to the bush and beat you.
Well, she's taking it to another view.
No. It's
I'm not talking about women and men here.
Did it? Why
I'm talking about, listen, affaire genital mutilation, ugly. Look, Mr. Ade, it's a different point. You understand? For them, they want us to leave our ways. And we are not leaving our ways. And when I am the National Assembly members, I'll tell them, look, do not accept. Refuse.
When the West,
let them refuse.
The West, as you say, when they came, do you know that?
Well, I'll also view you like an unfortunate because I am seeing you people are heading in the...
Can I just say?
Allow Mr. Ade.
Just belt it for 1 second. Do you know that when they had abolished slavery in the West, they then came and abolished it here? We were still, in fact, there are African countries where slavery is still, Mauritania, it's not that far from us. Slavery is still going on. That's the tradition that they met. So what, they should leave it? Mr. Balde, I'm asking you directly. Slavery?
No, I am not interested with what you are saying.
Why?
That's why I
Why?
try to.
Anyway, to conclude,
I try not to listen to
So
you
let's-
because
it's a simple
let's
question.
you
move
people
on.
cannot talk
It's a
and
simple
convince
question.
me.
It's a simple question.
Okay.
No, I'm asking you a simple question. Slavery came and was here. They came and they met slavery here, rather, in Africa, amongst ourselves. And they enforced its abolition here in Africa, African to African. If they had not come, we would still be enslaving each other. Is that right? Because
But
it was a tradition that they
Mr.
met.
Ade, come on, that's a different thing. Mr. Ade, do you know I'm disappointed? I mean,
It's a tradition that we met.
Anyway, let's move on.
I
Mr.
mean,
Ade.
Jenaba cannot convince me not to.
No,
to be
nobody can
against-
convince you. Nobody can
to
convince
be
you.
against
And I'm
my
not even
own
trying to
tradition.
convince you. I'm asking you simple questions.
Maybe someone will come and
Gentlemen.
convince me, but not Jenaba,
no,
not you.
I'm not
Gentlemen,
trying to convince you.
Gentlemen, let's move on.
I'm
But
not
all
trying
I
to.
know is at this point in time, Mr. Ade, to conclude on this, it's a law. It's in the constitution of the Gambia. So at this point, as
A
long
very
as,
bad law.
Yeah, as long as it's not repealed yet at the level of the National
A very
Assembly,
bad law.
it is our law, and as citizens, we have to abide by the laws of our country.
It's a bad law.
Unless otherwise. But as long as right now it's in our books, we should stand by it till the National Assembly decides otherwise.
People
Then we
who don't
see what
have
we can do
understanding are
at
the ones
end
that
of the
put
day.
it on our laws.
So,
you understand?
Right.
So to move on,
You know?
Unlike people who have understanding like you. Yes, of
yes,
course.
but
Yeah.
but to move on, Mr. Ade, I just hope that you have a good week ahead, and to remind you that we
It
have
can
our
only get
sponsors.
better. It
Yes,
can only get
and
better
also-
after the nonsense I've heard
Yes,
here
and
today.
also it's March, 8th March, it's International Women's Day.
It is.
And we are wishing all women a happy International Women's Day, and that it is unfortunate that this is happening in the March. In the month
No,
of
it's interesting
March.
that it's happening
It's interesting
in
the
March.
month of March that
Yeah.
it is happening that women's rights will be violated, maybe in the month
in the
of
name
March,
of tradition.
In the name of tradition. But wishing all women
Well,
a
all
happy
the people that
International
left their
Women's Day
tradition are
ahead.
lost.
Yeah.
They are
And
lost
then-
people.
Thank you.
People that
Yes.
left their tradition
And you are found.
lost
I'm
people.
glad you are found.
Yes.
So we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing a very important topic. There are a lot of topics in the Gambia that need to be looked into, aside from, what we just discussed right now, ranging from corruption to young people dying, and the list goes on. And one of them has to do with young people dying due to drugs. So we'll be joined by a representative from the Ministry of Health to actually talk to us about how we can collectively as a society curb this menace. We'll be right back.
I can go.
5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fix internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. Soro. Go, ebe dawa full network suda tili. QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata. QCell. Most reliable network dumala keta wati. QCell. Wo quality man yon soda jam pona manke QCell. Ani be wuloni farole kono walante be bako na jala fayola network ko se taria. QCell. Suñu boss. Ño fi njeka indi 3G ñu delu taxi 4G plus and now we bring you 5G. 5G. First and only 5G provider. Suñu boss. Itella follow adi doron nesa keno. Gambia bela nyon tawa fele QCell. Ko kasunta buka busi QCell. Itella molti milka kukutol nati Gambia. QCell meta lori la kiliano liele imanjina amanda wala itella ka quality dila dadi ma itelle silo wala wodol mume be keno ma. QCell suñu boss. QCell suñu boss. QCell suñu boss. QCell suñu boss. Connection be bambandi QCell suñu boss. QCell most innovative QCell suñu boss.
You
ask for it, and QCell is giving it to you with our new and improved Sunyu Bundle Mega Promo. Now you can get more data at cheaper prices. Buy any of our bundle packages and enjoy massive discounts. Dial *303# and enjoy browsing on the network with the biggest coverage. Buy a 20 megabytes data bundle for as low as $7 and 50 bottles today, or purchase bigger bundles up to 20 gigabytes. Yes, that's right, 20 gigabytes of data at your fingertips. With our mega promo bundles, you can browse more, chat longer, and stay connected on the go, anytime, anywhere. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply. Q Money is back again with an offer of a lifetime. You can now buy Sunyu Bundle data packages directly from your Q Money wallet for half the price. Get all Sunyu Bundle packages from 20 megabytes to 20 gigabytes and enjoy the biggest internet data discount in the market. Just dial *323# now. Choose option 4 and start buying your favorite Sunyu Bundle package half the price only with Q Money. Pay less and stay connected with the most reliable internet service in the Gambia. For more information, call 133 Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I am Jennifer Sonko here with my co-host Ibrahim Abalde. So like I mentioned, there are a lot of things happening in the Gambia, ranging from, crimes that have been reported to just young people, our young people that we, want to depend on for sustainable development in the Gambia are being affected by drug use in recent times. So reason why we're here joined by representatives to help us understand the effects of this kush that is being talked about in the country amongst young people, the side effects, and eventually I believe we'll be able to also go on the streets to just understand why young people are resorting to actually harming themselves. What is the root cause behind this? And Jibril Gando Balde, health officer at the Ministry of Health, is here, and Mr. Lamin Mane is also here with us. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. So,
you're welcome.
You are the ones who get to go to the communities to get their perception and everything. First of all, before even understanding what this drug is all about, why are young people resorting to this based on findings or conversations that you've had with young people? Gando, tell me, why? What is the motive? And then we will get to actually what the drug does.
Okay, thank you very much, Jenaba, and my brother Balde, and the whole crew here, and our viewers. I am Jibril Gando Balde. Basically, first thing, when it comes to the use, why, you have many factors leading to that. Some will tell you, it's to alleviate my stress. Some will tell you I take drugs to feel happy, to get excited, you understand, so that I can party or I can enjoy myself. Some will tell you they take drugs because they feel down, you understand, they are stressed, you understand, and that will take away the pain or the stress away from them. So, but what really happens here is that is just like, as we said, whenever you are stressed or you are down, that's taking of drug doesn't take the pain away, it just shifts it. And anytime you are sober, you are no more with the intoxication, the problem will come back. So it's never a solution. So that's why it's very difficult to answer that question, why I use resorting
it's a personal
to drugs.
decision.
Definitely, it's very difficult. But what is important is, and what we can tell the people out there watching this program, is that the drug in particular that we are talking about, you know, because we have had many drugs in the Gambia before. Cannabis is labeled as drug, and you have heroin, you have cocaine, and you have other drugs that are also used medically, you understand, like tramadol, fentanyl. These are very severe, you know, serious painkillers that we are using in our health sector, you know, to trying to treat certain kind of pains, especially chronic pains.
Exactly.
And what we have realized is that during our findings, the present drug that is going around or making the, you know, news is this kush. And when you talk of kush, you know, originally in the Gambia, we had it came from Freetown, and then when it comes, you know, and then findings were made, you know, even from Freetown, and to know what kind of substances are involved in this kush, because it's not only about, you know, the kush in grass form or in weed form that matters, but what matters here is the cocktail, you know, of different substances that they use to cook and prepare this kush.
So Gando, before you proceed, is the kush different from the ginabas?
To my understanding, kush, it came, the name, because it didn't originate from the Gambia, and we all know ginabas originate from the Gambia, the name ginabas. But as code names for any drug, because even with cannabis, some will call it weed, some will call it, you know, different names, you understand, just to hide it. So that is the norm in the drug business.
They
you
look
understand?
for a
They
name
always
to
have
hide it.
A code name, so that if you are not in the business, you will not understand what they are talking about. So to my understanding, that kush, when it came to Gambia, so to fake the Gambian public and drug law officers and other stakeholders, the street boys or the, those who use it, give it a code name. So because it is something that when you take it, within a minute or some seconds, it goes into your bloodstream and you start to feel the effects of the dose. And most of the time, what we found out is that there are substances that are put in this cocktail that are very, very dangerous. Because when you talk of fentanyl, fentanyl is the strongest painkiller in the world. According to our findings, it is 100 times stronger than morphine,
That's
50 times stronger than heroin. And anything that is stronger than heroin is very deadly.
It's very deadly.
Because as we all know, heroin is almost the last resort drug.
Yeah, so let's
because it's even more harmful than cocaine.
So Mr. Mane,
Yeah.
when an individual takes it, what are the effects now? What happens to an individual who takes this cocktail called kush?
So as far as the health is concerned, good morning everybody, and welcome to this show. As far as health is concerned, as far as the data we have received so far, based on cases that have been admitted, this involve a swelling of the tongue and then drooling, where they will be salivating, and they will also be weak, and some also express pain. Yeah, some express pain. So in that situation, that has to force them to go to the facilities. And this is what we have realized among the patients that we have gathered so far based on our data. Because our mandate is to prevent, detect, and report, and of course response. So that response involves a lot of activities. One of them is to take care of cases. And the other one is to go into the community, investigate, know the distribution, the pattern, the age that are affected, and of course whether there are some mortalities. So this is what is happening.
Because I came across a video of a guy trying to, according to the caption that I saw, he's trying to swallow his tongue, and everybody was coming together to actually clip
using
his
pliers.
tongue. You know, plier, right? To clip it, it was crazy.
Yeah. So that's one of the symptoms, because it draws your tongue based on the doctors who have seen these cases. It draws your tongue. So when it goes back, because it's too swollen, it also falls back and then block the airway. So that if that happens,
you will not
then
breathe.
that can result to death.
That can result to death.
So this is why it is important for people to report and know, and they go to the facilities quickly. Because based on the data we have, so far we have recorded 30 admitted cases, and all of them are males, and their age range is from 14 to 58 years. So you can see the age disparity.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of young people are also
Among the
involved.
youth.
Many
Among
of them
the
are
youth.
within 14 to 31.
So sensitization is very important. Although it is difficult to sensitize youths that want to take these drugs, because if they are used to it, I mean, there is nothing that you can say. So what is your approach, Gando?
Yes, that's why we reach out to the televisions, the radios, since last week we started. And as Lamin said, last week they also had a joint press briefing with the Minister of Interior and other stakeholders who were all present, and I think QTV was also there. So this is one of the approaches we are using to reach out to the media to make sure that people really understand this kush or what they are dealing with. This is not something that is just as we know weed or cannabis used to be. This is something that have been adulterated and added into the cannabis or into other forms of grass where it is used to smoke. But people have to understand the elements or the chemicals that are involved in this. Because when you talk of these two drugs that I have just mentioned, tramadol and fentanyl, these are not drugs that are given to every person or every patient. It have to be prescribed, and it have to be under the guidance of a doctor. So that's why, when these things are mentioned that they are part of the chemical, components that make this ingredient kush, it was a very serious allegation.
So how then, what is the ministry doing? Because then the health sector, pharmacists, clinics need to be also controlled. How do they have access to tramadol, diazepam, and all of these medications?
As we are still investigating,
right.
We don't believe that this is made in the Gambia. We believe this is already
coming from
cooked
outside,
from somewhere, prepared, and everything.
Right.
Is the ready package that is sent into the Gambia, and they just distribute it for sale. But the manufacturing is where we are talking about.
Okay.
And these drugs, even in those countries, they are highly controlled, even without, because of the seriousness, of the power of these drugs. Because as I said, a drug that is 100 times more stronger than morphine, you don't leave that in any pharmacy even. And something that is 50 times more stronger than heroin, you don't just leave that with any pharmacist. So these are drugs that are highly, kept, private. So now these drug dealers or drug lords having access to these substances, sometimes they might be, ordered under false pretense that we need this, for this pharmaceutical or for this. And then when it comes to those countries, then it will be diverted, and then the criminals will have access to it to be able to cook, or prepare in their cocktails. So this is a concern not only for Gambia right now, it's a concern all over West Africa. And because, as he said, it's a kush epidemic in West Africa. So Sierra Leone, where it is originated, and now you have it in Guinea, Conakry, you have it in Liberia. So just imagine, those are very close to Sierra Leone. But now it is going as far as Gambia. So, and people have to understand that this is not just ordinary grass that they are smoking. It's grass that have been mixed with deadly chemicals.
So Mr. Manning,
can be
do we
very fatal
expect
to
like
the
a
users.
nationwide consultation, with communities and all of that?
Yeah. As Jibril said, we've started something because when it came to the attention of the disease control program with the mandate to investigate and know the distribution and the extent, we have started conducting a record review in these two major hospitals, Kanifing General Hospital and then FSTH, because this is where we have the data. And we have dispatched two teams. I think one has done work in in Kanifing, and they are going to continue reviewing records for a period of time. Although reports has that this coup started in the Gambia since 2017 when they registered first case by the drug law agency. And so we're going to do that one. We're going to continue on the record review and then data collection. Again, what we're going to do, because today by 12:30, multi-sectoral partners will meet to discuss the way forward.
Okay.
And few of those activities include sensitization, risk mapping, and of course knowing the extent, and probably do a nationwide record review so that we can actually get the clear picture and know. Because if it is that expanded, then it becomes a public health threat and concern. And this is where we are trying to,
but
we are
gentlemen, thank
towards.
you so much for joining us on the program. Hopefully, we'll be able to have more time to have, you know, a bigger session to talk about this kush, because it is very important that we protect our young people, considering that the age range you're talking about and all of that, and our young boys as well. But thank you so much for joining us.
Not only boys, girls also.
Girls also, but he just mentioned that all the
based on the data.
Based on the data,
yeah, but could be.
Both could be, but it's more prevalent among young boys. But but thank you so much.
I think there's going to be
we have few seconds to go
for our other colleagues to be invited to come with Gando, mental health, against
we are working on, you know, doing a big panel where we'll talk to the drug law enforcement agency
and Gando. We talked about the fact that on Wednesday on Youth Dialogue you will get to come with a person who was a victim, and also hopefully we'll have a mental health expert during that program, because it's you know, clearly targeting young people. So it is very good that you're doing this with the consultations and all that. So just in case, you know, you before trying the kush, better try the tea. Get the tea or get the coffee and try it, and you're good to go. That's all you need as an individual, and you'll be good and sound and get to do your work. But thank you so much, gentlemen. That is all we have time for. Till we come your way tomorrow with another exciting program. Enjoy the rest of your day.